Hi, Sid.
Hi, it's again a pleasure having you in the morning. We can interact again in the morning with a fresh mind. Morning are the best time to talk.
I agree with you. I just wanted to take this opportunity of World Cerebral Palsy Day to bring your story to the world because I think it's absolutely inspirational how far you've come. So I really wanted to talk to you about it. So why don't we start with a little bit more about you?
Yeah, I was born and brought up in Mumbai, born with cerebral palsy, as you know. As far as my education is concerned, I've done my bachelor in mass media from Mumbai University, full-time course. Proudly say with a 60 with the first class, and also completed my master's in management studies in human resources, again from Mumbai University, and again with the first class. And currently, and I've worked with various companies. I've also done a few internships, but a full-time job. I started my full-time job in the year 2012 with a leading facility management company. I'm having 6 years of work experience with them, and it's been a great journey so far.
No, it definitely sounds like that. I also want to know what are some of the challenges that you face as a person with cerebral palsy in India.
So, as I said, I am actually proud that this type of I don't take this type of a disability as a disability, and I also I take it as a challenge. So, me being born as a cerebral palsy was kind of a challenge for me, especially in a city like Bombay when I was born. There was no the facility was not as advanced as it is today. But fortunately, with my father being with a medical background, I was with the best of doctors, where they guided me all through with the best of treatments. So, for me, being a cerebral palsy today is kind of exciting because I am learning a lot of new things, new ways of handling life, and also fighting it out to overcome my disability in a very strong and positive way. So as an adult, it's kind of becoming more of fun rather than getting back and saying that, oh my God, I am a person with disability.
Sure, but what I really want to understand is what are some of the day-to-day problems that you face because of cerebral palsy?
When it comes to the term cerebral palsy, it can be, according to me, I'm not a doctor, so according to me, it can be severe, it can be mild, and it can be moderate. Now, when I was born, it was kind of a severe thing for me, but with the help of physiotherapy and with the help of motor development therapy, there were a lot of improvement when it came to my personal skills and my personal development. Now, the challenges which I face till date is kind of not very major, but it's minor. So when you ask me about a day-to-day activity, it can be motor development, maybe wearing of shoes, tying of lace, wearing normal buttons. So I have made sure that I have press buttons with me, so that it's easy for me to press and just put the button. So and maybe if when it comes to general personal care, have a very it is challenging for me to shave. So with the technology being so advanced today, Philips had introduced Aqua Touch shaving machine, where you just have to put the shaver on your face, and we are clean shave, not clean shave, but it's okay for it's okay. 80% of the shave is done. So there were challenges, but with the technology being so advanced, these challenges are getting better day by day, and I'm able to be at least 70% independent. But there are some aspects where, while having bath, this is a very common problem, not only with me, but all the people who I know and who I've spoken to. While having bath, because of the limitation in my hand does not reach my back. When I try to rub it.
Yeah.
So every time when I have to clean my back, I either have to call my mom to help me get my soap on the back, because it's very important to have soap and rub it off, because to avoid fungal infection. So these are the things where I'm still figuring out how to overcome this problem, because there were few people advised me, why don't you have a brush, the soft brush will come, but again that range is not there.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of problem which I feel still has to be overcome.
So I also want to ask you a little bit more about your childhood and how you were growing up, especially about your schooling.
You get me to a better school, so I went to a school which is an ICSE school, which is a Learner Academy at Bandra. So there, Mrs. Jamali and Mrs. Khariwala and Dr. K.C. Chawda, who is the psychologist there and right now is practicing in the hospital, who are attached to the school, encouraged me to actually do a lot of activities which I was not even comfortable. So that made me more confident, and there was a time where the school actually promoted me right from junior KG to first standard. So that was a spark in my life. That was a spark in my life, and that's where I developed a lot of confidence within myself.
And did IQ testing for you? Did they do proper testing?
Yeah. The turning point of my life came in that particular school, where I was, asked to be on the stage on a wheelchair and act. It was a hall in Bandra where there were thousands of people, not thousands, hundreds of people watching me, and I still remember my mom, dad had tears of happiness in their eyes. So as far as schooling in general is concerned, it was not a cakewalk, but I had to fight all the way. But that fight actually, my teachers helped me a lot in overcome fighting my battles.
I know that you carried on this spirit right through college, because some of the stories that I've heard are incredible experiences. And I definitely do want to talk about your, your trip and how that was made possible.
I got with good grades in my 12th. I got admission in a very good college, Ramnarayan Bhuya College, who was very supportive, and I did my bachelor's in the college. And it was a compulsory trip. It is known as industrial visit, where we were asked to go to Jaipur for an industrial visit to visit some factories. And so when my professor asked me whether you will be able to come, I was a bit dicey. I just told them that give me 2 days of time and then I'll just ask my parents. Even my parents encouraged me, but I could make out internally they were not that confident. But then with my determination, with my friend circles there, I knew I was confident enough that they could manage. So it was a very, very good experience. In fact, when I told my college that I'll be able to join in, they were very happy. The first thing what they did was I told them my limitation. So the first thing what they did was they had an escort with me all through. They had an escort with me in the room. So that they could I could ask him for help for a daily activity, wearing of shoes, maybe wearing of buttons. So I didn't felt left out. In fact, there was a time where people used to go and climb, which were not possible. So the few of my professors used to stay down, and few of the fellow friends used to stay down and interact with me so that I'm not left out. Those 7 days of my life were actually life-changing instances where I as a person knew what exactly college life is all about, and that's how I even blossomed in my studies with gaining that momentum in my life.
I'm sure, because I think when you realize that when you explain your differences or what accommodations are needed, and when people around you come through for you, you see how much motivation, internal drive you get because of that. And I'm so happy that you were able to find such people who stood up for you, came around for you. That's incredible.
Thank you. Yes.
I also want to ask you, the employment statistics for people with disabilities in India, in fact, all around the world, are really, really bad. There is huge numbers, when it comes to unemployment. So I really want to know what your experience was. Was it easy for you to find a job? How did you go about that?
So this is something where I want to talk a bit more, because even today, people are finding unemployment, especially for those who are having who are specially able. So in my case, when I did my MBA, I was actually I completed my master's in May 2000 and I think it was 2013. Okay. 2012, and after that, I with a very good friend of mine, Mr. Puneet Bhatia, who spoke to some senior person in Future Group, and I got an internship with them for 3 months in a communication team. But I was still hunting for a job because I didn't want to be in that particular Future Group because it was kind of not my role. And I was applying all through, and in fact I had few interviewed as well, in that period where it was kind of a challenge for me to tell them that yes, I'm physically challenged, but you please test my capability and interview skills. And they always used to tell me that okay, you have fared well in an interview, but the challenge there was even though I was well prepared and I expressed my interview in a I passed that interview. A few companies, I won't like to mention the company. They had some of the other reasons of management, that management, there is some management issue, our budget is not matching our, so I could make out that they are avoiding. But I got placed through Vishesh. Vishesh is a institute where they place people with disabilities. And I got a contact because of my uncle, Mr. Joy Mandekar. He connected me with them. And that's when I got placed at CBRE, which is again a facility management company where I'm currently working. My client was Dow Chemicals. Now what happened with Dow Chemicals? I'll just keep this short. What happened with Dow Chemicals was that they wanted someone with person with disability. They wanted to recruit someone who is having issues. So they knew how to handle the interviews, what to ask, and they made when I reached the interview stage, I knew that I had to give about 200%. If a normal candidate, for example, if you have to go for an interview, okay, you have various options to apply, but I knew that I'm going to a good company. I need to give 200% to convince.
Okay.
So when the interview started, I knew that they were getting me into that comfort zone, and I somehow had a gut feeling that this office would be my office for a long time. So when the interview started, because I could make out that the managers who took my interview were happy with whatever I spoke. So after I started a job, the first 2 years, the line managers were not, they're just finding out a proper role for me for the first 2 years. But then when I started, being frank with them, started talking to the colleagues and opened out with my limitation and problem, that's when they realized that, these are the sets, or this is the role where Sid is more comfortable with. Maybe, talking with colleagues, or talking with vendors, talking with maybe telecalling, or maybe, vendor management, maybe negotiation skill. And that's where I became expert. And that's where, they realized that, this work can be done only by Siddharth.
Yeah. And how long did you work there?
Pardon?
How long did you work there?
I was there from about 2012 to 18.
Awesome.
2018. And they were very, it's very important, for me, like for a person with disability who is working or who is employed in a company, it is very important that you're close to at least 2-3 people or 2-3 colleagues, so that in case you are not comfortable with the work you're doing, you are able to express that to your fellow colleagues, so that they can express my feelings to the line manager. What happens sometimes is people who are, especially this happens with people who are having disability, they are not free with their line manager. But this was not the case in me. I was always free with my fellow colleagues as well as my line manager, and that's how I could tell them so for example, I was not comfortable with Excel. I was not comfortable with numbers. So they actually gave me such a role where it was more of talking. It was a face-to-face role with the clients, with the vendors, with the maybe negotiation skills. So so that was where I, as a professional person, developed my skills.
What I'm hearing from you is that it's equally important for people around you to understand you better, understand you in a way where they can actually come support you. You were fortunate to have an interview process which did not discriminate against you for your disability. Right? So I think people, processes, and the entire culture of the company is so important for you to thrive and reach your full potential. I've heard so much about you in the last few days from Sid. He has the nicest things to say about you. I was doing a video for World CP Day, which is on the 6th. And I thought the story was incomplete without you being there. Because in every segment, it is like, my mom this, my mom that. I said, okay, let's talk to them as well and see what they do.
If that is not included in that?
Yeah.
I really want to know more from you how Sid was like as a child. He sounds incredible, and he credits all of his achievements to you, and his brother, of course.
Yeah.
But how would you describe Sid as a child?
Siddharth has been always a very talkative, social, and very confident child. Always. And as per his physiotherapy, he was always cooperative. He always did it with a positive attitude. So this was a very plus point for me, and even I enjoyed taking his therapy throughout his now. Still, even now, if he has any problems, I would always like to take it. I've always helped him. I mean, even he, but major part is with me, of course.
I can see that. So I was asking him about his journey today, and he said, I've had challenges, but they were all easy challenges. So I can see where he gets that attitude from now.
Yes.
Very determined, focused, and once he makes up his mind,
he does it.
He gets it. He will get it done.
Sure.
So one instance I can tell you, when he was in the garden, like when he was very small, when he just started walking on his crutches, I said, you have to go all by yourself in the garden. I'm not coming. And on the way while coming, one of the watchmen, he just said, अरे तू ऐसा चलता है, चल नहीं सकता है. तो he said क्यों नहीं चल सकता? I'm walking on my crutches. मैं crutches से तो चल सकता है. So he is very street smart. He's very street smart.
Yeah, I've gathered that in our last few conversations.
One neighboring, is he socializing? Does he have girlfriends? This type of silly questions. Okay. When he was in college, when he was working, they asked such silly questions which.
But he always overcome all those.
And he gives them an answer, one retort. I mean, he knows how to give a retort. Okay, you can ask us now.
Sure, no, that's fine. I just want the conversation to flow. I do want to ask you though about your journey as parents. Are there any particular instances that you remember that stood out for you?
Yeah, it was very challenging, with him, always challenging. And see, what overcome is like we got the best of the therapists, we got the best of the pediatricians, and they all gave them us a very positive hope. Like we were never, they never discouraged us anytime. So that was one thing. The ones they gave us some positive hopes, we could handle him very well. That was one thing about.
We have elders. Siddharth is an elder brother. We have never differentiated between them. Both have got their scolding. They have both got their spanking if they are mischievous.
Same way.
No soft corner. Anyway, no sympathy. Only support. Whatever they want, we are there to support this.
I think Sid said that was one of the most important things for him. That at home he was treated like an equal. So in his mind, even when he went out in the world, he didn't see any reason why he should be treated differently.
Very true.
And I think he put it so well, he put it across so well, and I think that's such an important message. Because in your home, if you protect the child so much, you're not preparing him for the real world. And I think you guys have done a incredible job on that front. Can you tell me any instances where Sid or you as a family faced any discrimination because Sid had CP?
I think he spoke with you earlier regarding Bombay Scottish. See, that Bombay Scottish school, we were with the hopes we took admission in the school, they would integrate him in the normal section, where we waited there for 2 years. And then when we approached the principal, his wordings were, integration is far, far away for Siddharth, which really hurt us.
And you know what he said? Are you going to take responsibility if someone pushes him and he falls down? Are you going to take responsibility? This is not be expected.
So that was the moment when Dr. Amdekar, who was the pediatrician, he said, just get out of the school. It was mid-year.
23rd of November, some year, I don't know. And we had a meeting of 2 hours with the administration. He was not reluctant to integration. Then he said, you just came out and said, Sanjay, please take this child out of the school right away, middle of the year. And getting an admission in the middle of the year was almost impossible. But I managed to get in Learners Academy, and he blossomed up there.
I also know that I just want to point that the fact that how the instance of discrimination was so clear in the first school because of how well he did in the second school. So it clearly comes to show how the environment.
I'll tell you what the incident when on Wednesday he had an interview. Evening itself they said you got admission. Thursday Smita got a call from the principal. I would like to meet you all again. And when we went, he said both the principal, the psychiatrist, Dr. K.C. Chawda was there. Mrs. Jamali, who was the assistant principal there. One more senior teachers were there around the table. And they said, we entered the room. He says, looked at our serious face and says, Dr. Matre and Mrs. Matre, Siddharth is not fit for the senior KG. And junior KG, I'm sorry. And we were in tears at that moment. And then they laughed at us and they said, no, he's fit for going to the first standard on the third day.
It was directly first standard.
First standard. Yeah. He said he's so smart. So on the third day they assessed him and says not on junior KG, he's going right to first standard. And that was the Thursday. Saturday he was on the stage of their annual day. And that's what they boosted him.
It was a great.
It truly is amazing, right? When people around you come through and show support and understand.
Unfortunately, our education system doesn't recognize dyslexia, CP children. What are they? Yeah. How are they to be done? Nothing. It's just, something problem, put them in special school. It is wrong. The special school is to be banned everywhere actually. Integration is the
the solution.
Solution for every integration. But unfortunately,
I was telling Sid earlier how even for my own brother, it was the same thing. He was doing so well in the school in Chandigarh, and he got kicked out for absolutely no good reason. Just the principal had this fear that, oh, we don't know if he will be able to cope. And my mom said, well, when it gets to that point, we'll think about it again. But he's been kicked out of regular schools as well, and there was some small school which finally understood that it's fine. I think he'll be able to manage really well, and he did so well in that school. Same things. I can relate to these experiences so well. Where even in the annual functions, even if it meant my brother getting a small part, he was always made a part of it.
That's very important.
That is very important.
I remember for so many years, my brother was just given roles like being a tree or being a bird and just being on stage.
That is also enough. Yeah.
For Siddharth's first day in the drama or in the play,
he was a Hawaiian boy,
but sitting on a stool. That's it. But that itself gave him a little boost, confidence. Yeah.
Just small opportunities go a long way.
That school is fabulous. Small school, but very nice.
So Sid tells me that Gaurav, you're his best friend first, and he told me that he's very fortunate to find that you found a person who became a family member instantly, and he has an individual equation with you as well. You're not just his brother's wife, but you're also his friend. And that made me really
right.
Yes.
Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit more about Sid? How was he as a kid? I think you'll give me the fun side of it.
Yeah. So we were more as friends than brothers, and more than brothers, we were more buddies, and we used to act very. We were fond of pulling each other's legs and being very childish, laughing at poor and silly things, and making fun of anything whatever we come across in our day-to-day life. So before my marriage, we used to share a room, and many a times to beat our stress, our study stress, we used to order some eatery, anything, and we used to not tell. Okay, and then that was a moment of refreshment for us. We used to just go and binge on anything, whatever we had, something like Lay's or chocolates or anything. So this was a bonding which we used to have. When we used to share a room and all, so it was more like a friend than a brother.
Neha, what was your first meeting with Sid like? What do you remember from that interaction?
First meeting as such, yes, he's a very cheerful person. I knew he's specially able. He has some, but then it was not very nothing such as first impression. But over a period of time, we are more of friends. It is never like he's my brother-in-law, I'm a sister-in-law. We are like friends, Whenever I come home and he's like, "Aaj kya hai? Khane ko kya hai? What is mommy making?" All those So same as Gaurav said, all those things we share. He's his brother right from his childhood. He's there with him.
Sure.
But I was introduced to his life 5 years back, something. But he's very jolly person.
Sure.
You can gel with him very well.
If you had to use 3 adjectives for him, what would they be?
The adjectives are a person with very positive attitude, a determined person, and bold.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's really bold. And I know you give so much credit to your support system. In fact, when I was talking to you earlier, you said you had backbones in your life that, and those are the people you credit all your success to. So of course I have to ask you about them and tell me about the people who are your strong support.
See, firstly, my parents have been my backbone. And apart from my parents, the best backbone and the best colleague in my family, either colleague, either brother, either best friend. Okay? His name is Gaurav Matre. And he the person who I could express my feelings to, whether it be playing together, whether it be studying together, whether we had to go out together, whether we had to hide something from my parents, maybe I got bad marks. There were times where we got bad marks where we used to tell each other. So I was never shy of telling him or expressing myself to him. So he's one of my backbone. Another backbone of in the family, apart from my parents, brother, are my two aunties. One is a physiotherapist, Miss Sarita Thakur. She's still practicing, and one is aunt who's in the US, who is Miss Vandana Gavankar. She has been also, supporting me all through my life. Even if she's not present here today, she always calls me, even if I have a minor stroke, minor fall. And my cousins in the US, they have also been support always. Aditi and Sheetal, and my uncle Mr. Deepak Thakur. So all, it's not. I want to name them because they have actually mean a lot to me in my life.
Sure.
So So family is one, and also apart from family, it is very important to get a social support.
Yeah.
So when it came to social support, yes, I have already spoken about my college, but apart from college, my colleagues, I would like to name again few. One is Ketki Kandalkar, who I was always open to when she was more like my sister. And I was always open to her as a friend and as a colleague. So I used to always express myself to her when I was having any difficulty in my work. She was the one who used to tell my line managers that see that a problem in working or doing this type of work, let's change. So she has played a very important role in me getting developed as a professional.
Sure.
Okay. Now, so that is also social and as a colleague. And so now, backbone is not only, backbone also can be friends. Because what happens is, usually people who are having disability are kind of not social. 90% have to be developed as a social person.
Yeah.
But I am social because of my friends. Okay. There are. I don't have many friends. I have only 2-3 good friends who have been standing with me tall today. And for them to be with me today in this difficult time also has been. I have huge respect for them. We live like those. I have friends who love cricket, and we always share cricket, watch World Cups together. One is Mr. Kevin, who has been always there with me ever since we met. Ritesh Sechpal is another very, very good friend of mine who have in fact worked with NGOs and who knows how disability is all across India and all across the world. Another very, very two good friends. I am naming these friends because apart from family, friends have also helped me develop. Of late, I have made very good friends with two of my very good friends. Advait Dandekar, who is working in Upgrad. Okay. He has been with me in my struggling times till last year, and even today. He has helped me shoot in videos till date. Getting my post on LinkedIn. So that encouragement was there, and even now, if I'm bored, I have a dentist friend who is all along, Shweta Shah. She has been, I can always talk to her whenever I can bug her or maybe, So today, in today's world, being the pandemic, I don't feel left out because I just have to call one. I have to just press the button of call, and I can call many any of my friends whenever I feel lonely or bogged down. So
That's
friends and also apart from my brother, now when my brother got married, I wanted to keep this as the last point because my brother's wife, Neha.
Yeah.
Now, usually what happens is the relationship between a brother-in-law and a sister-in-law is kind of distant. But in our case, me and Neha we have a very good bonding. It's touchwood, and we gel around very well. We talk together. We at times share difficulties. We are more like friends. So even she has been with us for now almost 4.5 years, and it does not feel that she is a new member in the family. Family, friends.
I think you also have that power of bringing people together. It's not easy. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So I think you also should give yourself due credit for finding these people, keeping them together. What's your secret sauce? Tell me that. How are you so high on energy and on the go all the time?
I am on the go just because of the people around. I seriously give full credit to the people I meet, because I don't want to boast about anything about my internal qualities. What's good with me is whenever I meet a new person. For instance, I met you on call. I always feel that you are someone I know for ages. So that's when I meet a particular person, I make them comfortable. It's very important for me to make them comfortable and make sure that they gel around. So
we've spoken a few times now, and I've never felt like it's one of the first few times. It genuinely feels like we've known each other a long time. In fact, I do think there are so many similarities in our lives also. I understand some aspects of your life very closely. Example, my brother was, he was kicked out of a few schools when he was younger, so I understand what that must have felt like. In fact, when you tell me about your friends and your family, I think I feel the exact same way. I think my biggest support system is my family and my friends. And I don't think it would have been possible for me to be the person I am without them. In fact, even I have just 2-3 friends, but they mean the world to me. So I truly understand what you mean by having these people around you and how important that is.
Yeah, so before, I also would for me to get social, I would like to take this opportunity to thank few doctors which I have with me, which I had with me throughout my life. Dr. Johari, Ashok Johari, he is one of my gurus who had operated me 3 times, one in 97, 2000, and 2 surgeries in 2005. So he has been my strength, whatever. Even today, I am interacting with him on email. So one is Dr. Johari. Dr. Medini Pate, I don't know what to say about her, because I am here sitting in front of you. I am standing because of her. Obviously, my mom has had a very important role in me getting developed. But because of her therapy, I am here, and I am able to speak. Because I still remember when I was young, my speak was not clear.
Yeah.
So maybe she developed. I don't remember, but I do remember something where she helped me out to get my speak clear. The third one is Dr. Ambekar, who has been one of pediatrician, and he was the one who actually fought for me from getting me rid of that school in Mahim and getting me in a good ICC school. So Dr. Ambekar, and the fourth one, the latest one, is Dr. Sushant Sarang, who you will be talking to in the evening, and he knows my body in and out. He has been like my big brother. I call him every time. In fact, when I have a fall, I call him. So he knows me in and out as a person, as an individual, and he knows all my positive, negative, and strength, weaknesses.
In the next segment, I think I really want to know their sides also, especially because I've heard so much about them from you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure for you having me on your platform. And I would like to take this opportunity to wish you and your team all the best. And I am damn sure that you will go wonders and fly high with all your success.
Of
Thank you
course,
so
we will. We have supporters like you. Of course, we're going to do great. But thank you so much. You're always a gentleman. Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.